going anywhere until I find Miranda.
Can't let you in. Fire department's orders.
Clinic's open.
Grey's Anatomy has captivated audiences for nearly 2 decades, but the show often prioritizes drama over realism. In Real Surgical Training, residents face grueling schedules with little downtime, unlike the show's doctors who still find time for parties and relationships. Emotional breakdowns also happen less often than portrayed. Residents are trained to stay calm under pressure. Mentor-mentee bonds in real life remain professional, while Grey's Anatomy often dramatizes them into personal or romantic entanglements. Patient care is another area simplified for TV, as real cases involve multiple departments and complex teamwork. And while the show suggests a balance between intense work and thriving personal lives, most surgical residents barely manage outside commitments. But while the show may gloss over reality, its on-screen drama continues to spark headlines. Showrunner Meg Marinis recently teased that Sophia Bush could return as Cass in season 22, hinting at new romantic drama for Teddy now that her marriage with Owen has imploded. Meanwhile, fans are buzzing about Chris Carmack's fate. TikToks from him and his wife Erin Slaver have sparked speculation that Link may not survive the Grey Sloan explosion cliffhanger. Adding to the shakeup, ABC just ordered a new series starring Grey's Alan Scott Speedman, which could further hint at where his character's future stands. With season 22 being marketed around the chilling question, who will survive? Longtime fans believe the show needs to finally commit to killing off a major character, something it hasn't done since Andrew DeLuca's death in season 17. Season 22 premieres October 9th on ABC, and between possible character deaths, returning stars, and messy romances, Grey's Anatomy looks set to deliver another unforgettable chapter. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. The reality of surgical training, Grey's Anatomy, doesn't show. Grey's Anatomy has been a staple in the world of television for over a decade, giving audiences a peek into the hectic lives of surgical residents. While the show is known for its drama and emotional depth, it often falls short when it comes to the realities of surgical residency. Here's a look at 5 ways the show differs from real-life surgical training. Overtime hours and workload. In Grey's Anatomy, characters often have time to socialize and attend events outside the hospital. In reality, surgical residents frequently work long hours with little downtime. The intense workload leaves little room for personal life or socializing outside of work-related activities. This difference highlights how the show prioritizes narrative over realistic portrayals of time management and personal sacrifice in medical training. Emotional resilience versus dramatic flair. While Grey's Anatomy emphasizes emotional turmoil among characters, real-life surgical residents are trained to maintain composure under pressure. They develop coping mechanisms to handle stress without resorting to dramatic displays seen on television. This difference showcases how television often dramatizes emotional responses for storytelling purposes rather than accurately depicting professional behavior in high-stress environments. Grey's Anatomy showrunner comments on Sophia Bush possibly returning in season 22, and I have thoughts. Much of the conversation surrounding Grey's Anatomy's impending return to the 2025 TV schedule revolves around the explosion that closed out last season. The Grey Sloan Memorial Operating Room wasn't the only thing that blew up in How Do I Live, though, as Teddy and Owen's marriage also went up in flames. Does that open the door for Sophia Bush's cast to return in season 22? Showrunner Meg Marinis shared her thoughts, and I've got some strong opinions of my own. In season 21, Teddy Altman and Owen Hunt, Kim Raver and Kevin McKidd, decided, for like 5 minutes, to open their marriage. During that time, Teddy had a hot makeout sesh with Cass Beckman but decided she wanted to remain faithful to Owen. The trauma surgeon, meanwhile, had no such hang-ups, sleeping with his sister's childhood friend Nora, Floriana Lima. Now that Teddy and Owen are no more, is it possible she and Cass could pick up where they left off? Meg Marinis told TV Line. Oh my gosh. I think it's a very logical leap. And Sophia is such a lovely person. We'd love to have her back. After her hookup with Owen, Nora, who was in Seattle seeking medical care from Teddy, thought she was dying, so she professed her love to her best friend's brother. I rightly predicted that Teddy would figure out a way to save her life, but I may have been wrong about that complicating the situation. Instead, when Owen refused to reveal if he reciprocated Nora's feelings, only saying he was willing to cut her out of his life to save his and Teddy's marriage, Teddy surprised me by choosing to walk away. Maybe, possibly, finally, this time for good. I think Owen in general is one of Grey's Anatomy's worst love interests, and his and Teddy's toxic relationship lasted too long. I love nothing more than to see Teddy explore something different. I loved when Cass mixed things up for Teddy and Owen in season 21, and Meg Marinas sounds ready to bring the character back as she continued. Yeah, I think Sophia's an electric person. She brings a lot of energy to the scene. And the character that we crafted for her has kind of the same effect. No matter if she's interacting with people on a professional level or a personal level. I feel like people are drawn to her, which is really, really fun to play with as a writer. Please, I'm begging the writers to do all of the fun things they can think of with Cass, and no character is more deserving to partake in that fun than Teddy. It doesn't hurt that she'd get to rub it in Owen's face either. Sophia Bush has not been confirmed for season 22, but Floriana Lima is set to recur, so there's still a lot of juice left in this story. We also need to find out if Link or anyone else died in the explosion, and I've got a wild theory about that too. Thankfully, the long wait is almost over. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premieres at 10 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday, October 9th on ABC. Grey's Anatomy fans question if Chris Carmack and wife Erin Slaver are hinting at Link's death in Season 22. Grey's Anatomy fans are worried about Link's fate on the show thanks to Chris Carmack and his wife Erin Slaver. Ahead of the Season 22 premiere, Carmack, 44, has often posted TikToks showing Slaver pranking him. A video from Sunday, September 28th, received a surprising reaction when a social media user replied, "I am so concerned the reason you guys are doing so many pranks is because they killed off his character on Grey's Anatomy, and I'm very upset." The hit ABC series, which premieres on Thursday, October 9th, will pick up after a hostage situation turned deadly. Viewers were left concerned about most of their favorite characters when season 21 ended with an explosion that only Meredith, Ellen Pompeo, and Warren, Jason George, officially survived for now. ABC orders Grey's Anatomy star Scott Speedman's TV show to series, one role being recast. Mentor relationships differ significantly. In Grey's Anatomy, mentor-mentee relationships are often portrayed as highly personal and sometimes romanticized. In reality, these relationships are more professional and focused on skill development and feedback. While mentorship is crucial in medical training, it is typically characterized by guidance rather than personal entanglement or conflict seen in many plotlines. Patient care complexities oversimplified. The complexities of patient care in Grey's Anatomy are often oversimplified for storytelling purposes. Real-life surgical residents deal with multifaceted cases that require extensive collaboration with other medical professionals and departments. The show sometimes simplifies these interactions to focus on character development rather than accurately representing the collaborative nature of healthcare. Work-life balance challenges exaggerated. Grey's Anatomy frequently depicts characters balancing work with a vibrant social life or personal interests outside the hospital setting. However, real-life surgical residents struggle to maintain work-life balance due to demanding schedules and high-stakes responsibilities. This portrayal exaggerates the feasibility of balancing personal interests with professional obligations during residency training programs. Here's the plot. R.J. Decker, Speedman, is a disgraced newspaper photographer and ex-con who starts over as a private investigator in the colorful if crime-filled world of South Florida. The series follows him tackle cases that range from slightly odd to outright bizarre with the help of his journalist ex, her police detective wife, and a shadowy new benefactor, a woman from his past who could be his greatest ally, or his one-way ticket back to prison. According to Deadline, the pilot was well received with Speedman's performance getting high marks. However, at least one casting change is already being made. The series' regular role of Shay Bennett was played by Warush Opia in the pilot, but will be recast for the series, per the report. Kevin Rankin will play Aloysius Wish Aiken, Adelaide Clemens stars as Catherine Delacroix, and Bevan Bruce stars as Melody Mel Romero. Stay tuned for more casting updates. ABC sets up Grey's Anatomy Season 22 to fail if it continues a 4-year trend. The trailer for Grey's Anatomy Season 22 raises the stakes following Grey's Anatomy Season 21's cliffhanger ending, but that can suggest that ABC set the medical drama up to fail if it follows a detrimental four-year trend. The hostage situation of Season 21's finale being resolved only for the explosion to go off meant the crisis is far from concluded. This forces Grey's Anatomy Season 22's beginning to deal with the aftermath of the blast. The onus of revealing who is injured or dead from the explosion thus falls on Grey's Anatomy Season 22's premiere, meaning Season 22 needs to deliver a resolution that is tangible and satisfying after Season 21's finale had it easy, shocking audiences with the explosion. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 needs to kill someone or threats to them won't be believed again. Grey's Anatomy Season 21's finale worked masterfully because of the general sense of worry that permeated its every moment, keeping audiences on their toes, only to be released with the explosion, which proved it right, as something horrible did happen. However, this leaves Grey's Anatomy Season 22's premiere the tough job of showing what that catastrophe entails through its victims. This is also highlighted in Grey's Anatomy Season 22's teaser trailer. The scenes of chaos and the distraught faces of multiple Grey Sloan Memorial doctors all paint a grim picture of what to expect, and they're being spaced out with words eventually forming the question, who will survive? Ups the ante in relation to the casualties for Season 22's premiere. Grey's Anatomy built its reputation by killing off main characters early on, and how heartbreaking and nerve-wracking those episodes were built a lasting memory of how distressing the medical drama can be. The threat of another heart-wrenching death lurking in the shadows can be powerful enough to generate anticipation that one of those iconic Grey's Anatomy moments could happen again. Grey's Anatomy Season 21's finale and Season 22's teaser trailer bank on that credibility to generate hype for the upcoming season. But if Grey's Anatomy Season 22 doesn't kill off an important character, the medical drama's threats won't be believed again in the future. This is even more crucial since Grey's Anatomy hasn't killed a main character since Season 17. Grey's Anatomy hasn't killed off a major character since Andrew DeLuca's death in Season 17. Character deaths are common in Grey's Anatomy due to its being set in a hospital, but those most consequential rightfully happened every few seasons. Those moments' existence warrants a high degree of worry, even during the more frequent times Grey's Anatomy threatens a character's life before saving them. However, it's been 4 years since a key character was killed off. Andrew DeLuca's death in Grey's Anatomy Season 17 painfully developed in both the medical drama and Station 19, which maximized its shock value by showing how his co-workers at Grey Sloan Memorial and his sister Karina reacted to the tragedy. His final storyline let him go out as a hero, but no major character has been killed since DeLuca's death. Meredith came very close in Grey's Anatomy Season 17 with her COVID storyline, but she eventually pulled through. Grey's Anatomy Season 18 ended in a chaotic cliffhanger as well, with all the new interns risking their careers by operating on a patient unsupervised while also keeping Teddy Altman alive after she collapsed, hinting at her demise being a possible outcome. Before its drama-filled finale, Grey's Anatomy Season 21 pulled the same trick of almost killing a central character only to let them recover with Mika and her sister's car accident, delivering a dramatic storyline, but also not committing to making it entirely tragic, as Mika's exit in Grey's Anatomy Season 21 eventually entailed her leaving medicine without compromising her safety. The circumstances of an explosion happening at Grey Sloan Memorial with all those main characters condensed in that small place nevertheless make it imperative that a key character is irreparably hurt after Grey's Anatomy Season 21's ending. Indeed, enough time has passed since the last Grey's Anatomy tragedy, making Season 22's beginning the perfect moment to deliver a new one. Which Grey's Anatomy characters are the most likely to die from Season 21's explosion? Several characters are unaccounted for or seen close to the floor in Grey's Anatomy Season 21's ending before the blast. Jenna opening the acetylene tank while overseeing Amelia perform a surgery on her daughter in OR2 makes Link the character more evidently at risk of perishing as a consequence of the explosion, being his surgery in OR2. Jules and Monica Beltran discussing an upcoming surgery with Bailey on the floor just before the explosion put all three of them in serious danger, and their absence from Grey's Anatomy Season 22's trailer seemingly confirms there is a good reason to fear for their fates. That is the case even if plenty happened in their Season 21 storylines. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premieres on ABC at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, October 9, 2025. Other characters at great risk are Lucas and Richard, as Amelia could be seen instructing Lucas to run to Weber and tell him about the full acetylene tank before the explosion, placing them very close to where the chemical was released if they remained near where Richard managed the hostage situation. Richard's loftier status nonetheless put him in bigger danger. Among all these characters, Lynx would inevitably be the most heartbreaking death for his future, and what that would mean to Joe, especially so soon after tying the knot. However, Richard's death would without doubt be the most impactful, as it would deprive Grey's Anatomy of one of its few original characters, making this crisis one to look for closely. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.